Zell boy army, what is going on? It is your boy Zelonius, my spicy friend back here, Mr. Ainsley Harriet. It's that time of the week again. Foot Champs is here. This video is going to be dedicated to making you lose less on Foot Champs. I'm going to play a game I'm going to play my first game of Foot Champs, record it, and you guys can watch it, and I'm going to point out some of the mistakes my opponent makes, some of the common mistakes that people make a lot of time in Weekend League, how they get frustrated. Then I'm going to give you a general rundown, some tips at the end of the video that people often make in Foot Champs, and things that might just increase your wins just by a few. And if you can increase by a few, that could be a lot more coins over the year. I'm trying to make sure I give you guys as much great content as possible. Please let me know in the description what type of content you want to see. Please like the videos, that helps them do better. That helps me be able to keep doing this as a job for you guys. And if you really like the content, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. That means a lot. And then you'll get notifications daily when my videos drop. Boys, I appreciate the support. I'm looking forward to this video. Here we go. As you can see, we've got a pretty good team here. In game, we're playing the 4-2-3-1. The overload ball side. It's just crazy. Let's see what the first team we're playing against is. It's not a bad team for the first game, to be honest. I mean, Butra's good. That Drogba's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not, my team's a lot better. But that's not a bad team for the first game in terms of, like, I normally play a lot worse than that. By the way, guys, I stream every single day over on Twitch. Please check that out. The link's in the description. And if you subscribe to the channel, videos are going to be going out daily at 5:30 PM every single weekday UK time. I'd really appreciate it if you join me on this journey. Okay, here we go. So that's one thing a lot of people do. They even forget just to put their tactics on. So at the start of every game, put the 4-2-3 on, put the overload ball side on, and we're ready to go. So I'm not rushing forward from the kickoff. I'm taking my time, letting the kickoff juice build up a bit. You can see he's diving in quite a lot. He's giving me quite a lot of space because he's just diving in. You can't, when I've got players like this, you can't be giving me that much space. If you give that much space to Messi and De Bruyne, I'll score eventually. You see there? He's probably going to quit by the looks of it, but he's just diving in. He's giving me far too much space, and you can't do that against players like De Bruyne and Messi. A lot of people don't balance the difference between being passive or aggressive. There's somewhere in the middle which just isn't good enough on the game. It just gives you too much space to score. Okay. I want to play more of these games on stream, but I don't think that's long enough to use for the video, so we'll play a second game. That's another thing though. I've seen like people concede early on against a God squad and they just quit. Like, maybe he knew how I was. I don't know. Maybe I'm flattering myself too much there. But just because you go 1-0 down against a good team doesn't mean you should quit. Quitting generally, unless it's so obvious that the game's already done. Let's say you're 4-0 down against a much better team and a much better player. Okay, maybe it's worth quitting to save yourself frustration, wasting your time, because obviously not everyone's got as much time as possible to play Weekend League. But if you go 1-0 down, don't just quit straight away. If you played a pro player, if you've got unlucky enough to play one, it might be worth the test. Okay, this guy's got red and back. That's a very nice pull. He's got a very nice meta team. That's one of the things I'd recommend for Weekend League. Make sure you have a meta team. If you want to play for fun, you don't care too much about your wins. Okay, you can use some wacky players. Most people who play Foot Champs are playing it for competitively. You need to have a meta team that can compete, to be honest. But what I said before, don't just quit because you go 1-0 down against someone. The game is definitely not over at 1-0. I've seen as well some people have like a routine from kickoff. I normally go backwards, turn on to Raul's left, and then just drill it to Mendy. That's fine to do, but if my opponent starts reading it or just marks it, you have to be willing to adapt. Quite often I play against someone who gets a few kickoffs and then I start reading it. I just start getting the ball on the kickoff because I know. If I was better defending like the last opponent, just would give me space there. That's obviously what you can't do there. You can't let me just keep running at you. Okay, see there? It's one mistake a lot of people make on this game. They force passes when they're not facing the right way. You can't do that on the game. They're properly nerfed. This guy's a lot better at just standing his ground. Be a lot tougher to break this guy down than the last opponent. He still forces passes quite a lot. A lot of the time he's forcing passes that just, it makes it too easy to win the ball back. But he's a lot better at closing me down. He's not giving me the same time. I don't think he's changed formation either. So back what I was saying about making sure he changed formation. His guard great, still playing strike for him. Okay, he's got lucky there, but that's an example of what I was saying. Don't dive in. Yeah, see, he's diving in again. He lost the ball in a bad way. And so often when people lose the ball on Weekend League, especially when they're playing a God squad, they get a bit more anxious. They start to if they give the ball away cheaply, like this guy just passes when he's not facing the right way, they start to panic, they pull him out of position. It just gives me that time and space to get quite an easy goal. My philosophy on defending on this game is my opponent needs to do something good, not that I'm just going to give them a free goal. If they want to score, especially on this game where it's a lot harder to score, my opponent's going to score, they have to do something special, not me give them a free goal. And so many people, if you watch the goals back that you score or concede, they just give away free goals that were very avoidable. He panicked after he lost the ball, pulled his men out of position, and allowed Raul to have just a simple tap-in. If you're playing someone who's not got a 5-star weak foot, so often it's better to just make sure you show him onto that weak foot. Like Raul there, if he'd put me onto the right, I was never scoring. See again, the guy's just forced himself into trouble. You don't have to force the ball forward every time. When you force the ball forward like my opponent's doing, it just makes it so much easier to defend because I know where he's going to go. He's going to dive in, yep. See you there, again, he's panicked and dove in. When you dive in that quickly, it's going to be very hard to score. They'll stop me scoring even. Okay, I want to save some games for streams later. Well, I'm going to be streaming after I've finished recording this, to be honest. This video will be going at 5:30 though. But make sure you tune into my stream so you can see me play Weekend League. I'll give live gameplay advice there. I like to answer your questions. I see my stream is quite an educational stream. But again, that was very quick, easy 2-0. The main things we spotted though there. The defending. Once people made any sort of mistake, they just started to panic. They dove in. They pulled men out of position. That second player that I played there, you could see at the start was a lot better than the first one. But as soon as he made a slight mistake, he panicked, he pulled his man out of position. And with these players, it's going to be so easy to score if you give me any chance like that. Forcing passes, being predictable, not mixing it up. Those type of things can really hurt you in Weekend League. Not balancing aggression and passiveness enough. You have to find the right balance. Quitting a goal down. What's the point in quitting so early in a game of Weekend League? If you quit at 1-0, you could be quitting against someone who's got a great team, got a lucky goal, and you'd probably be a lot better and be able to win. I guarantee you there's a lot of people who quit so many games a weekend that if they just played every one, okay, it might take longer obviously, but they'd get that extra win or two that might boost their rewards, boost their ranking, feeling of pride over the weekend. The team, I end up going for a few more different options to a lot of pro players. A lot of people say they like watching my streams because I'm using different players. But every player that I've got, I'm going to do a video that really goes in depth next week onto what stats you want to look for in particular players. So what does a fullback need? What's a centre back need? CDMs, cams, strikers, wingers, etc. But you can probably notice that I don't use anyone with less than 4-star weak foot for the most part. Centre backs I don't care too much. My fullback's a 5-star, 4-star. My only midfielder attacker that doesn't have that's De Jong, but he's that good at dribbling, it doesn't really matter too much. 5-star weak foot's massive on the game across every position. Having a meta team will just eradicate so many defeats that you'll get on Weekend League. You can get a meta team for 1 million coins that can compete with a lot of very good teams. Okay, once you get to like the prime icons, maybe it's a bit harder. But you could get a lot more wins and avoid a lot of defeats just by building a more solid team. Mentality. Set yourself a goal, a realistic one. Don't kill yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you can't get to that. be realistic and look over time to gradually improve. Take breaks where possible. One of the things that helped me, drinking water, just keeping myself hydrated so I don't lose concentration. A lot of people are going to be playing for a few hours at a time. If you get dehydrated, you're not going to be thinking as fast. FIFA's a very mental game. Sometimes listening to music, talking to someone else as you play, things like that can help. Watching a stream, things like that. I can always watch Zelboy stream. There's lots of different ways that you can avoid defeats. The gameplay one, we didn't really see my opponents attack too much, but one of the big things I can recommend is take your time. Don't force the ball forward. Watch pro players, see how they finish. See how they finish the chances and make sure that you try to copy that. Because if you're not as good as your opponent, the best way to beat them is take every chance you get. Taking chances on the game isn't really a massive skill gap in terms of it's so hard to replicate. It's just learning what works. If you can learn what works and take nearly every chance you get, that'll be a massive improvement to you. The biggest skill gap for me on FIFA is probably one, keeping your head and mentally staying strong, but two, creating the chances. So creating the chances is the hard part, but so many people miss easy chances. So watch top level gameplay and see how they take the chances. But yeah, I hope this video has helped. Please let me know if there's any type of videos you want to see moving forward. If there's any ways you think you can avoid defeats in Weekend League, let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you all watching. Please like... Oh, so I've got a bad throat. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you Monday for another video at 5:30. Peace.